was the MVP of the tournament, Victoria. Victoria has played her basketball out there in college basketball in America. You can clearly see that there's a difference because, of course, there's that difference in the basketball in America and Kenya.
And as we look at that, Jemimah, just to get it from a playing unit point of view, was there pressure? Because many were really expecting a lot from you, more so after the Morans had set the pace. Was there pressure on the playing unit to go out there and deliver?
Yeah, there was pressure. There was too much pressure. And it took a lot. It took a lot of sacrifice and putting in work. It wasn't easy, yeah.
I got the opportunity to, to pay you guys a visit at Nyayo National Stadium during your training sessions, and the morale in the team was just way up there, and it was not a coincidence for me when you won. Is it something you guys expected when you left the country?
The new team, I would say we are a new team, yeah. So everyone is just putting in a lot of work, so you can make it to the team. You don't know who is who. You don't know if you're gonna make it to the team. So we worked hard. We just kept on pushing each other, yeah.
Well, that's the key word, because by the end of the day, delivering this, Sylvia, you started off on a losing note. And being a young team, as Jemimah says,
yes,
something must have gone into the team in terms of lifting them up to ensure that by the end of the day, they forget about the first match and move on to the next.
Yeah, we started on a sore note. We lost to Rwanda in the first game with over 20 points. It was a bit disheartening, or you can say it put us in a nervous place. But in sports, you never give up. You never say no. You never throw in the towel until the final whistle, so to speak. Like Jemimah has said, this is predominantly a new team. We have a couple of players who've been there before, but most of the players were there for the first time. And even if they were not there for the first time, they probably had 1 cup or 2 cups. So what we did, and like I said earlier in our chat, the bubble helped us a lot. Being in a bubble ensures that you people are together. You're not going anywhere. So the team chemistry is built without a lot of effort. In yesteryears, where everybody used to go home and all that, would go and would create time for us to have team bondings. But with the bubble, the players are now together the full day. Day and night they're together. So after our first loss, we went back, and of course as a technical team, the head coach was George Maenga. Headed by George Maenga, we sat down and asked ourselves, what else? What can we do? It was not so, I would think, okay, from what we looked at, when we were back here at home, because of the protocols of COVID, we're not able to have any friendlies. So for us, we decided as a technical team, let's take this first game as a friendly we should have had. It was the first time we were actually playing a competitive game as a team. We had trained for almost 6 weeks, but we had never played against anybody, unless it's amongst ourselves. And when I'm playing Jemimah, it doesn't bring out that competitive aspect that you're looking for. So we studied the game, did a couple of changes on the Rwanda's game, encouraged the players, because as you saw, they're quite young, encouraged them. And the second game, that was we played South Sudan. We beat South Sudan a bit easily. The third game was a bit tricky also. We played Egypt. Egypt are known for hammering us all the time when we meet them. So it was a nervous game for both the technical team and the players. We played well. I think for me that was the best game ever. Okay, before the finals, yeah, because you could see the character. And as we kept on playing, because we were now, like I told you, we didn't have a friendly. As we kept on playing, we kept on improving. Even in the Egypt loss of 106, you could see that there was so many goods in it. Just a couple of turnovers here and there. Probably Egypt had a bigger push than we did, but you could see there were no red flags. So by the time we were getting to the semis, the team was in a comfortable state where now a technical aspect can come in. There's sometimes when, as a coach, you can't even bring up a technical aspect. So we were in a comfortable place by the time, despite the loss of the 107-106, we were in a comfortable place to go into the semis.
Well, interesting looking at how the team composition looked like, and like you've said, a lot of experienced players and a mixture of experience and youth. You're looking, Jemimah, at very experienced players. Victoria, Chichi is there. You have Wanyama also in the team. How did that inspire you, you know, and the rest of the young members of the team to keep going? Because definitely at some point you needed one or two players to you know, to show some leadership, you know, to get the result.
Yeah, personally, to me, it was an honor to play with Wanyama, Rose. I've never played with them. They are stars, you know. So being on the court with them, I learned so much. I was so excited, learning new things every day. It was amazing. Yeah, and the leadership they showed. Yeah, you just keep on pushing. Yeah.
I mean, interesting indeed, because to some it was, one would have expected stage fright. But I mean, Sylvia, with your guidance and George, the coach, and of course other senior members of the team, you must have sat down and decided lightning was not going to strike twice. When, you know, you played, let's even not go through the final, the semi against Rwanda. You started off, and from the first quarter, it was so clear that for Rwanda, it was a catch-up game against Kenya.
When we started our training, we started from a back foot, so to speak. We were all over the place because of the COVID protocols. At the time when we started our training, the ministry had put a ban on playing. So we were actually, you know, when we are allowed to play, we didn't have proper venues. So when we started and when coach came, he said, we have all these challenges, but let's go and write our story. That's what he kept telling the team. We must write our story. And being a relatively new team, there's always that eagerness to want to write your own story, to chart your path. We were coming, like you're saying, off a background of Morans where they're performing well, probably a background of Lionesses who have always gone ahead and performed better, or even, I mean, they achieved as much or performed better than we did. And this group of people, despite even there being some of the senior players, had still not played together. So it was a relatively new team. And what kept us going is the thing that let's chart our path and let's tell our story. And I think that is what took us forward. For the Rwanda game, the semi game, for us it was always going to be a make or break game. We knew if we wanted to qualify, which was our target, that we needed to beat Rwanda because we needed to be in the semis. So as we approached the game for Rwanda, like I said, we did a lot of video reviews, and the coach didn't put a lot of pressure on the players. He told them, just keep pushing, play the way you played the Egypt game, and we're in business. So as you see, when we started, and because of that, emphasizing that we must chart up our path. When we started the game, you can see we started it at a certain tempo. That is the Kenyan tempo. That is the tempo we had been training with. And that tempo didn't come down. So for us, it was, you either catch up and beat us like, you know, past 100. Egypt did. Or if you don't catch up, we will go ahead. And I'm glad the girls showed a lot of character. There was a lot of character in that game.
Well, when we talk about character, I mean, Jemimah, looking at some of the images, you know, at the stadium, then at the court, how did it feel like when the national anthem is sung in your honor? How does it feel? We've seen cases where people shed tears. Looking at those moments. After
the win, and you know you're representing your country, it's amazing. It's just an honor. And I know people back at home were like, yeah, we're out there. Kenya is out there. It's not just Olympics and athletics. Yes. The basketball ladies team is back. Yeah. It felt so nice.
Sylvia, very interesting images. Seeing Angela there as well.
Those are the women in the Kenya Lionesses. That's Angela Luchivia. She's assistant secretary at the Kenya Basketball Federation, and Eunice Ouma. She was one of the assistant coaches, and that is a Lionesses role. Who better to do it than the elder ladies in the team?
Leading by example, leading from the front.
Yes.
Well, interesting, and just seeing some very good, pictures from the Rwanda, event, Zone 5. As we look at all that, clearly it shows that it is possible, it can be done. As we look at the way the final was played, it looked like you never gave Egypt room to even catch up, and everything they did, you did it better. And at some point, the body language of the Egyptians was completely off, as in they lost it in the fourth quarter.
Yes, their body language told a lot, and I think we fed off that in the fourth quarter. We were also struggling. If you watch the fourth quarter, we also struggled
you took time
a bit.
at 71.
Yes, we took a bit of time at 71, but like I said, we had the buffer of the lead. We struggled. There was anticipation. I mean, there was anxiety in the team. You could see even from the technical bench, we would consult a bit more. But you know what? Sports is sports. There's always going to be a winner. And I think this is a well-deserved win. It is not handed over. The girls worked, and especially on their mental. That game between Egypt and Kenya was a predominantly mental game. If you look at the teams, we can actually say Egypt slightly, if we tilted the scale on the abilities part, we were a bit not so, we didn't rank their abilities. If you look at their players across board, they have players who played in that team for what? They have 8 to 7, 9 caps and have also gone ahead. Egypt have all that resources. They went to Europe, prepared there. But for our girls, we just told them this is a basketball game. I mean, we're using the same basketball. So it was a very mental game for the girls. And I think that is where we won the game at. We prepared them mentally. They were mentally ready for whatever it is. They knew that when they go on to the field, that they're going to be the equals of Egypt and not any less than that. Yeah.
And Sylvia, as we look at what you've mentioned now, preparations and stuff, we now know that this is done and dusted. We now start looking forward to Cameroon, that's AfroBasket. What is in place in terms of ensuring that this team goes out there and sends a message like they did in the yesteryears, 2013, 1994? We have approximately 8 weeks to the championship. Not enough time to prepare. I mean, there's never enough time, but not enough time prepare, but it's ample time for us to do something because we have been in training. The players, the team is not going to break for long, maybe a week or two just to regain their energies, and then we're back at training. Before I even talk about, like, for example, what we are going into, I'd like to give thanks to especially the Ministry of Sports through the leadership of Ambassador Amina Mohammed. They really came out big for the team and provided what the team needed. The Ministry, NOC, KBF, really made sure that the girls prepared well. It's never enough. It's never enough. And as you know, in Kenya, we don't play sports on a professional level. So some of the girls are in school, others are working. So we make time we create time actually for us to be able to train. So as we go forward, we're looking, KBF has set up a profile and that we can have the team training. We should start training by 1st of August. Yeah, hopefully we should start training 1st of August. And this time, because of at least by then the Olympic team has already gone, so there's less pressure on the Ministry right now to attend to other people. So we will have an opportunity to go into a proper bubble and a camp that is 20 to 21 days where we can just stay in Kasarani, sleep, breathe, and eat basketball the whole day. The whole day.
The whole day, yes, as we prepare, yes.
Sylvia, as we look at some of the images there from the games that you played, Jemimah, no fans, and this is when the final, moment came that you now knew that we are the champions. There were no fans in the stadium. Yes. Do you think, with or without fans, still destiny was in your hands and you know what to do?
No fans. What do you mean? We players, we are our own fans.
You're your own fans.
Yeah. So we kept on cheering each other. Kwanza, Mimi, I was on the bench. I kept on pushing my teammates. Don't give up. You just go on. Yeah.
Sylvia, at some point, you know, we were following the match from Kenya. I mean, we could see you making gestures, you know, shouting to the team. And at some point, everyone was like, this technical bench really looks like hands-on, and they are pushing the team. It looks like the composition of the technical bench was well done, because you seem to be working as a unit, and everybody knows what their deliverables are.
I'd like to commend KBF on this one, especially on the technical bench. They took is it the gamble, or they took they had some confidence, and this is the first time I think I've seen such a huge technical bench. And as you can see, it bore fruits, because we were how many, 4 coaches on one team. It makes it very easy in terms of 1, reading the game like you say, 2, giving instructions, 3, also in terms of communication. The way you communicate with Jemimah is not the same way I communicate to Jemimah. I probably can talk to her much better than you can. And so when you have a huge technical team, all those small hitches are always taken care of. The other thing is when the head coach is standing there and the game is going on, like especially like the Egypt game, which was so tense and anxious, the tempo of the game can actually make him lose sight of a few things. But when he has 3 other sets of eyes seated down and watching, he's able, when he comes out for the timeout, we are able to articulate to him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not good, and all he needs is to instruct. The instructions, like you're saying, sometimes, like I said, in terms of communication, probably Rose is running hard and she can't really hear what coach is saying, but as soon as she turns to the bench and she sees, you know, I'm gesturing, it gives them that motivation to keep on going. And like I told you, we worked on the mental of the players. So if they turn around and on the bench there's Eunice, there's Mike Opel, there's the rest of the players like Jemimah is saying, and it's a fallacy that there were no fans. The Rwandese brought their drum guys.
Which they are very good at running.
And they made so much, they made so much noise. So the rest of the team actually did cheer. So when you're playing and probably you've made a mistake, which is human, and you look at the bench and we're all like, you know, go on, keep going, it gives them that sense of comfort. Yeah, so sitting on the bench, like I said, it was a very anxious point.
Very anxious indeed, because watching the game from Kenya, definitely we could see the anxious moments, but still the mental strength was there. And you know, Kenya carried the day. Jemimah, Sylvia has mentioned that mental preparedness from the technical bench to the team. Apart from that, what else do you think helped the team in terms of delivering this? Do you think it was preparations, you know, the teamwork nature of the team? Do you think there are any other aspects that by the end of the day played a part in delivering this?
I would say after each and every game, we used to go back and watch. We watched the game, each and every game, our games, the games that we played, and our opponents' games. We saw our mistakes and we knew what we need to work on and to correct. And then the mental part, I would say, it started way back when we started training. We didn't have anywhere to train, so we would look for, you know, a ground. Morning runs, it wasn't easy. So I think that's where our mental health, strength, or rather preparedness, started from. So when you're on that court, you're like, I could run for 2 hours, or rather 8 hours. I cannot get tired in 40 minutes. You get? So you just keep on pushing. You push, because at the end of the day, we just want the win. You get? We need to win. We need to win for our country. Yeah.
Country first.
For the flag, for the family, and
excellent.
For
Jemimah, what inspired you to basketball? We have Lionesses right now in Japan. We have Malkia strikers, that's in volleyball in Japan at the moment. Why basketball and not football, not volleyball, not rugby, not hockey?
First of all, I started back in primary. I used to do football, and then I joined athletics. I used to win, and then I came. My sister was playing basketball in high school, so the way she used to talk, I was like, "That's interesting. I want to play this game." So in high school, I told mom I want to go to a school where they play basketball. So she took me to Park Lansaria, and actually that's when I started playing basketball. In Form 2, I was already in the team, so it inspired me. And Form 3, I joined under 18 basket, the national team under 18. So that's where my inspiration came. We played in Rwanda, we beat Rwanda, we went to Senegal. Those are the small wins that inspired me to continue playing basketball. Yeah.
I mean, where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years to come? The likes of Victoria played college basketball in America. You have Wanyama, etc. Are you seeing yourself as a professional, or you'd like to take over from Sylvia in a couple of years to come as the team manager?
I already consider myself as a professional player, basketball player. Yeah, and having the likes of Angie, Sly, they do basketball, they've played basketball, they played for the national team, and they're also working, and they have papers, so it inspires me. You can do both. You can be a professional basketball player, and you can focus on your career.
Now that you've brought it up, I personally didn't want to bring it up, but now that you've brought it up, Sylvia, why are you called Sly?
Wow, I thought you would go to the academic side. I don't know, these people just call me Sly. I think it's a short for Sylvia. I don't know. I don't mind though.
I don't want to go back to academics because I know all the way from Strathmore.
Yeah.
Yes. But Sylvia, very good indeed to hear, the likes of Jemimah look forward to many years to come and already looking at situations, knowing that at the moment they are, professionals. Which means very soon there are those who would be looking at them and saying, when I grow up, I want to be like Jemimah. Yeah. Does this give you an easy time as the team manager, now that you know you are handling mature, disciplined, respectful team of Lionesses?
Those adjectives you've described the Lionesses that we have right now. I have a very good team of disciplined girls, and I'm not just using words on them, but this team is very disciplined, very focused, you tell them go run outside, there's no court today, we come, and if there's no place to run, tell them they go run. They ask you for how long. They don't ask you why are we running outside.
For how long?
No, they ask how long do we run, So I think I have always been a very big advocate of academics and sports. Like she said, she's one of the girls I talk to a lot. She's currently doing her master's. She's not even saying that. So like Jemimah is saying, and to all the girls out there, playing any sport, any, you can actually combine your sport, career, and education. When you have, like you're saying, when you have players who've gone to school, the level of understanding is also different. The level of interaction is different. The level of commitment is also different. For example, if it's a player who's going, like for example, like Jemimah, who knows she has to go for her classes at this time, and she also has to go to make it to Cameroon, her time management aspect also improves. That for us as a team, as a technical team, it makes our life very easy, because Jemimah knows September 17th I have to be in my top form. She knows probably in around September she has to graduate again. So what does she do? She has to learn how to manage her time. Now by the time that happens, it means she's already taking leadership in herself. So by the time she's stepping on the court, she's not going to be coming to training late, be asking her, why Jemimah, why are you late? Because she already knows I need to be in training at this time to this time so that I can go study. So it makes it much easier if you have a player who is also, like, so to speak, juggling life, profession, career, and academics. Yeah. So
in short, what you're saying is you also have 1 or 2 minutes of mentorship programs with the young girls.
Yes, we do talk to them a lot. There's a program we intend to start with the team that is going to train to go to Cameroon, where we want to, every weekend we will be having sessions. We invite coaches to come in, not technical coaches, but life coaches or psychologists, for lack of a better word, a psychologist, to come and speak to them. But amongst the team, we have those sessions where we talk to a few players here and there. We try and give guidance where we can. these are young girls growing up, so they have a lot of challenges. You know, when we were growing up, Ampher and I, there was all these social media and all that, so our challenges were fewer. So they have more challenges than we are. So where we can, and especially that is where Eunice and I come in very handy, is we try and assist them with the little things that you know, would like set them back. Yeah, so we give advice on career, we give advice on profession. If we can't, we ask someone to come and talk to them. Yeah, and they're not short of people to talk to. Wow. As mentors.
And as we look at that now, September is not far. You mentioned around 8 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks, maybe they can rest, then come back. Are you working with the ministry and, of course, KBF to at least see that you have a very tight program that can see them go out there in Cameroon and make an impact?
When we landed and the Ambassador Amina Mohammed hosted us for a dinner, and the support from her and our chairman is solid. She told us she's even traveling with us to Cameroon, so she said anything we want in terms of preparation, she is going to be there and she's going to follow it through. The chairman of basketball, Paul Ocholla, has also given us his commitment, and he said he is here to see the Lionesses go as far as possible. So in terms of preparation, we are sure that the ministry and KBF are together, and that the ladies are going to train very well.
And as we look at that, Jemimah, a lot of pressure now comes in terms of going out there to maintain the standards. You have the local league going on. How do you balance the two to ensure that you make sure that you are in top form? You have your studies coming up. You also must be wary of injuries here and there, but you must remain focused by the end of the day. How are you balancing all that as a player?
As a player, it's not the first time. It's not the first time trying to balance basketball, academics, and the league is back, so it's gonna help us in being in our game mode, you get. So before we didn't have the games, we used to train, and the league being back, it's gonna help us get
the game fitness.
Yeah, gain fitness, and it's gonna be an easy time for the coaches. So when you go for national team training, you're already fit, you're just going to work. Yeah.
And as we start winding up this discussion, what can you promise Kenyans? I know first and foremost is to thank them for all the support mentally, and even the support that they gave those who prayed for you guys. What can you promise Kenyans as we now move forward, as we start winding up this discussion?
Yeah, as you said, I would like to thank Kenyans for supporting us, and as we move to the next level, we're going to put in work. It's not going to be easy, and we promise to do our best. Yeah, thank you.
Promise to do your best.
Yes.
Sylvia. We start winding up this discussion. She's clearly said that they will not let them down. They will keep the pressure. They will keep the flag up there. From a technical bench point of view, and as the team manager, what can you tell Kenyans? And that's your camera.
Yes. It's an uphill task. Like I said, we are going to Africa, so we are going to meet all other zone number ones. So it's not going to be as easy as we think. Rwanda was a bit easy, but it's going to be tough out there. So I'd like to just ask for continuous support. This is a great team. Like I said, Lionesses have always been a great team. We've always set the standards out there in terms of basketball. We want to go back to where we were in the World Championship. We can't get there. We have the talent. We are not short of that. We can get the talent. We have the talent to get there. I'd also like to ask Kenyans to kindly come out and support. We had a couple of corporates on our side. Am I allowed to mention them?
Please, yes.
The Ministry of Sports was big. We had NOC. It was also big. We had Coca-Cola, who was our hydrating partner, made sure that when the players trained 8 hours, we were actually training the whole day, that we were well hydrated. We had Rentco, and we had Victoria Bank, and of course we had our own KBF. So I'm very grateful as a person, and also from the team manager's point, made my nights a bit easier by having the cooperation and the sharing, I mean, with the corporates. So I'd like to also ask more people to come out and support this team. Young girls who are trying to make history, write their story, as coach keeps saying. We're trying to write our story, trying to get back to the world's podium where we used to be. And I think with a lot of cooperation, and especially from the private sector, we will do good. We will be well. We'll do good. 8 weeks is not a long time, but it's good enough time for us to make an impact.
And with the Morans also now getting into camp,
yes,
I mean, it's going to be very tricky and very tough.
It makes it a bit easier. Okay, Morans make our work a bit harder. Like in Rwanda, everyone, by the time we were getting there, they were like, okay, did you see what the Morans did? So these Kenyans, don't take them.
don't just look at them.
Yes,
it's a tough team to beat.
But we don't mind. Let them set the pace. We are there to catch up with them.
But coincidentally, Sylvia, in the yesteryears, pressure was on the Morans to deliver as a result of the Lionesses.
Yes, and that's why I keep saying the Lionesses have always been an awesome team. We've always been a great team. It has always taking nothing much from the Morans, but Lionesses have always, the girls have always been ready to put their foot out there. Yeah, wow. Every tournament they've gone to, they've always put their foot out there.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. Thank you very much, Jemimah. Wishing you all the best, and congratulations for delivering this silverware. Not many expected this, but it looks like the team believed that they are a can-do, will do, able to do team.
Yes.
And delivered this by the end of the day. Congratulations, and wishing you all the best with your preparations as you move forward to the next level, which is the AfroBasket that will be happening in Cameroon in September.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, that has been a discussion with the Kenya Lionesses victorious team that was in Rwanda. They went, they saw, they conquered, they delivered this trophy, making way now to Cameroon for the September AfroBasket Championships. We are wishing them all the best as they continue with the same. Remember, the Morans are also now getting ready for the same. This clearly shows that Kenyan basketball is now getting back to where it used to be in the yesteryears. All we can do is wish them all the best. And at this point, we'd like to say on behalf of everyone who's been behind this transmission, the transmission controller, the director, the producer, the cameraman, the camera ladies, not forgetting on behalf of Sylvia and of course Jemimah and Barnaba Korir, who joined us earlier on, we want to say thank you very much for having kept us company. We continue with the transmission, but just to let you know, from an Olympic point, tomorrow 5:30 a.m. Christine Ongare will be out in the ring trying to fly Kenya's flag high. Then on Monday we have Shuja taking on USA at 5:30 a.m. That is something that touches Sylvia very, very closely, having been with the Kenya Rugby Union in the yesteryear. So on behalf of everyone, we want to say thank you very much for having kept us company on this Saturday, which is the Legends edition. We want to say thank you and keep it KBC Channel 1. As I always say, kuna na kesho ni majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Bye bye for now and make it a sporty weekend. Bye bye.